Hello? Who's up? Who's still up? Who's out there? Are you guys still up? I know it's pretty late, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for too long. So I decided to do this video. Um, it's 8 p.m. Central or Mountain Time. And wherever you're at, it's probably like 9 o'clock in New York. And I think 7 or 6 on the West Coast. But wherever you're at, um, I just thought that I would bring you some content right now because, I don't want to leave you hanging for too long. Um, Thank you to all of those who tuned in last time and asked questions about hair. I got about 3 or 4 questions, and some of them were similar, but I found that a lot of you are struggling with dry hair. Um, we all know that taking care of our hair during this time requires drinking a lot of water, right? Just like our skin, but also using grease. So anyway, I actually came on here because I'm not going to answer those questions tonight. I'm actually going to answer them on my next live, which will be later on this week. And I'm coming with a lot of detail. I'm not just going to say, oh, grease your scalp and drink some water. No, those are the simpler things, but it's more in depth than that. I actually, I have some other videos. I mean, not videos. I have some other questions that I'm also going to address too. But I thought, it would be fun if I just shared a little story with you guys. Why hair? I could have done anything, but why hair? Why did I choose hair? So for those of you out there who know me, you know that I come from a family of hairdressers. My mother being the first hairdresser that I've ever come across, encountered. And then I have my cousins, Cynthia and Erica. Shout out to Cynthia and Erica and Edwina. They're all hairdressers. And then I have a grandma, well, my late grandmother. She was a seamstress. So she was hands-on, and we tend to work with our hands in my family. I even have an Uncle Safa. Hi. He is a contractor. So I just come from a line of, hands-on creative individuals. And so I think it's just in me really to do it. So when I first graduated from high school, I went into nursing because I also have a love for people. And I always wanted to do something that I could, give back, right? So I was in nursing courses at school, taking up classes, and I kid you not, it wasn't until I was like, I think I had 3 classes left to finish up with my prerequisites so that I can now enter into nursing school or, at least register for nursing school, right? And I remember being in, what was it? I think physiology and anatomy. And I'm sitting across some students in my class, and they're looking at the skull, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is so amazing! I love this. Look at the occipital," and using all these big terms. And I'm just thinking, like, how can I put a wig on this skull here? Like, that's all that was going through my head, is the fact that I wanted to do some hair. Like, seriously. So, like I said, I come from a family of hairdressers, and they're all successful in what they do. But although it was in me and I was passionate about it and I really wanted to do it, I decided, you know what, let me just try something else. So from doing nursing, I then enrolled myself into classes for interior design. Anyone who knows me knows I just love creating stuff. I'm a very crafty person, and I just love making art, basically. So I went into interior design. I told my mom, I was like, "Mommy, I don't want to do nursing anymore. I really want to do this instead." And, I talked her into it, and she was like, "Oh, okay." She was supportive and everything. And man, let me tell you, it is not easy. Interior design is no joke. I can't draw for my life. Like, I cannot draw at all. So that was a big thing. You have to be able to draw and do all these sketches and all this stuff. So I was flunking. I was flunking my architecture class like nobody's business because I couldn't, it was a lot. It was really a lot. Um, so yes, Linda, I thought to be a nurse. Cause I wanted to be able to take care of people. But then I'm like, I don't feel like I necessarily have to be a nurse anymore in order to help people. I can find something else. So then I'm like, okay, let me tap into my, artistic side of, my artistic side. And so that's why I chose interior design. So anyway, after like 2 semesters, I was like, no, I don't think this is for me. And it might sound like I'm someone who, can't make up her mind, but I'm someone who's very passionate. And I have to love what I'm doing. I have to wake up and want to go and do it because I want to give my all. So that's why I finally decided I'm going to go to beauty school. I'm going to go to beauty school because it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I will drop everything to do somebody's hair. See? So I went to beauty school. I enrolled myself at Glendale Academy, and it was the best decision I have ever made. I'm telling you. And a lot of people have a misconception about beauty school. They think, oh, you're just going to go and learn how to curl some hair. No, boo-boo. Mm-mm. It is like, let me tell you something. I was thrown a physiology and anatomy book while in beauty school. And I nearly had a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ran away from this stuff and now I have to learn it again. Because as a beautician, or anyone for that matter who works with, individuals, you have to know, you have to know about different diseases. You have to know about sanitation practices. You have to do you have to learn and know so many things. And, when you're sitting in that stylist's chair, she knows that product. She knows what will go with your hair and what will not, because we were taught these things in beauty school. So anyway, I was in beauty school for like 8 months before I finally told my mom that I was in beauty school. And boy, was that hard. It was a hard 8 months before I shared that news. But when I told this lady, she goes, oh, I know. And I'm like, what do you mean, She's like, oh, because every time I call you, you're doing somebody's hair. So I figured. I'm like, oh, well, I wish you would have told me that you knew, because that way I wouldn't have been sweating bricks every time I had to pick up the phone to talk to you, right? But anyway, so when did I start playing in hair? I don't know. Ever since I was like maybe 8, with dolls or whatever. But let me tell you guys a very funny story. And I always crack up at this story to this day because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Nothing. But for whatever reason, this poor girl trusted me. Okay. She was my friend. And I don't remember her name because I was probably like, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. And so she was like, oh, Christina, you always have this cool hair. She was Caucasian. I want to add that because it goes in line with what I'm going to explain. So she was Caucasian. And as we all know, we have different types of hair. Curlier hair types tend to, not produce as much sebum. So sebum is a natural oil that we all produce on our skin, in our hair. And curlier hair types, that sebum doesn't really go down the hair follicle. So that's why you'll see those with ethnic hair, curlier hair types, having to buy grease and all these oils and different products to kind of moisturize our hair. So with straighter hair, it produces, sebum, and it goes through the hair strand. And that's why you'll see that other ethnicities, Caucasians, Asians, Spanish, or just those with straighter hair have to wash their hair more frequently because it's oily. So anyway, she was like, oh, Christina, your hair is always done nicely. Can you please do my hair for me? And so she showed me this style. So it had like a little part right here, and it was, it came to the side. Oh gosh, I wasn't supposed to show my finger. I need to get my nails in. Anyway, so it's slicked to the side. Let me see if I can turn my hand around. It's slicked to the side and it was a ponytail, really nice, sleek ponytail. So we went to my house after school and she was like, oh, you're going to do that style for me? And I was like, yeah, I got you, right? So mind you, like I said, we're like in middle school, like 13 years old. So we get to my house. I sit this girl in the bathroom. And what did I grab? I grabbed some Vaseline. I grabbed Vaseline. And what did I do? I slicked the hell out of this girl's hair. I think I used the whole damn jar. But her hair was slick and it was shiny. And she looked at me and she said, it's nice. It's a little bit oily and greasy, but it's nice. And I was like, oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Don't worry, you'll be fine. So I put a ton of grease in someone's hair that already produces a lot of grease. I won't do that again, trust me. But anyway, that's just a little funny story. And any chance that I ever got to play in someone's hair, even if I didn't know what I was doing, somehow they trusted me and I would do their hair. And some left crying and others were really happy. But anyway, I just wanted to share a little story with you guys of why I love hair so much. And I promise I'm going to be bringing you so much more content. We're going to be learning together. And, hopefully you'll be able to take care of your hair by yourself. I mean, of course, you still want to come see the stylist, right? Because we're professionals and we know what we're doing. But, when you leave our chair, we have no control over what you do. We really don't. So I at least want those out there to be knowledgeable and know how to take care of their hair. Thank you for all of you who are watching. And Linda, you tried it. You tried, but I was focused, girl. All right. You guys have a very good night. Thank you for tuning in.